put out my last video at the beginning of August about my 7-foot street lamp. The comments that I received on there, at least half, if not more, are related to me more than the street lamp. And honestly, if it's something you're interested in, then I'm more than happy to talk about it. From my highest weight, I have lost a little over 100 pounds. And that hasn't all happened at once. It wasn't a singular event, but I am 100 pounds lighter than I used to be. And I get it, it is a little startling to see that in my videos, and I have to tell you, it's a little startling for me to see it in pictures of myself in the mirror, and honestly just, you know, existing out in the world. The last time we did one of these videos was 2023, and I shared that I was 50 pounds lighter than I was at my highest in 2019. All I started doing was walking. For a guy that probably walked less than 1,000 steps a day at that point, I started trying to walk, you know, anywhere between 2 miles to 4 miles a day, which was a really big deal for me at the time. I felt better, my brain felt better, my heart felt better, my stamina was better. It was all just better all around, but I didn't really change my diet. That video from 2023 was entitled, I lost 50 pounds and it only took me 4 years. And that was the truth, you know, and I felt pretty good at the weight that I was at. So after that video, my wife and I had the opportunity to go to Rome for a week. Rome for a week was one of the more amazing things I've ever done. As far as food, for me, Rome is the motherland. It is pasta, it is cheese, it is delicious coffee. I mean, it is the for us. So my diet changed quite a bit after Rome, and we started eating some really delicious foods more frequently than we had in the past. And while my walking didn't go down, my weight went up. At the beginning of this year, beginning of 2025, I was 253 pounds. So I gained back, what is that, 15 pounds or so? Maybe a little bit more, maybe that's more. I'm not great at math. At the end of last year, Mrs. Brown said to me, she said, I'd like to do a cleanse at the first of the year. And she's like, do you remember in 2017 we did this diet called the Whole30? And I was like, yeah, the Whole30. And I was trying to remember, looking back. So the Whole30 was a thing that was super popular. We did it in 2017. Basically 30 days of eating stuff I didn't want to eat, and not eating stuff I did want to eat. And I remember, I think I lost like 10 pounds. So it wasn't great for me, I didn't love it, but you know, she wanted to, and I thought it was a good idea considering how we've been eating. So I was like, yeah, let's do that. The reason that it exists is for people that want to find out what kind of foods they're allergic to. That's the point of it. But that's not why we wanted to do it. We wanted to do it to basically just eliminate a bunch of stuff from our diet to try to make ourselves feel better. So I'm not allergic to any foods. The only thing for me is I eat too much food and it makes me unhappy because I gain weight. So I'm super fortunate not to have any food allergies. But if you do, the Whole30 is actually kind of a cool thing because it allows you to see what foods might affect you. So you give up a bunch of stuff, but the main core of the diet is that you're eating stuff you make at home, right? So you're giving up ultra-processed food, you're giving up most stuff in a box, and then you give up all grain, you give up all dairy, and you give up all sugar. Now there's a handful of other things, like you can't have legumes and you can't have, I don't remember, there's a handful of other things you're not supposed to have. The main three is giving up grain, giving up dairy, and giving up sugar. And so we decided to go and do that. And we did it for 30 days. And I felt super good. And I was like, I just feel good. And Mrs. Brown was like, I feel good too. She's all, do you want to just go 45 days? And I went, yeah, I feel fine, let's go 45 days. So we decided to go 45 days. And sometime between the end of 30 days and the end of 45 days, she was like, she said, is there anything unhealthy about this? And I was like, no, I don't think so. We're eating fruits and vegetables and protein, and you know, we're maintaining a calorie count. So that was the other thing we did in addition to the diet, is we also maintained a calorie count. For me, I maintain 1,500 calories a day. So inside the guidelines of the Whole30, I also maintain 1,500 calories a day. You know, that makes a huge difference. Honestly, even without the Whole30, if you maintain a calorie of 1,500 or lower in a day, you're gonna lose weight. I don't know, this whole idea of whole foods, fresh foods, it makes me feel better. Oh, right, and I got a dog. After never having a dog, never saying I wanted a dog, I was like, we should get a dog. And my wife, who's wanted a dog her entire married life, was like, absolutely, we're getting a dog. Like, you shouldn't have said those words out loud. So we have a 90-pound German Shepherd female. This is Remy, and Remy needs walks. So in addition to being on the Whole30, having a 1,500 calorie count, I now have a 90-pound dog that needs to be walked 3 times a day. Is this a crazy lifestyle change? This is a crazy lifestyle change. I've never had a dog, and I have to say, I love having a dog. I absolutely adore having a dog. I've had cats my whole life. I love cats. Think they're fantastic. Huge cat fan. But there's something about an animal who cares about you, wants to know that you're there, and wants to be a part of your life, that just feels good. And we're super fortunate. She's a rescue. We got her at 4 years old from the local Sonoma County Animal Shelter. She's a sweetheart. She, you know, she had some issues with pulling, and she had some issues with some behaviors, but came to us potty trained. She's sweet with humans, and she's well behaved. We literally won the lottery when we picked up Remy from the animal shelter. So, so there we go. That's my crazy lifestyle change. Yeah, so I'm walking more than I used to. I'm getting anywhere between 5 to 7 miles a day now, because if I don't, I'm gonna have a hyper 90-pound dog running around the house. And the last thing I want her to do is to have an accident in the house. We literally went 3 months on the Whole30, no cheat days. Fast forward to summer, we had some friends coming over, and so we had some cheat days in summer. We had, we went on a short trip to Seattle, and we had 4 days in Seattle, and I think I gained 8 pounds in 4 days in Seattle. But other than that, I pretty much stuck to the diet. And the Whole30, 1,500 calories, walking a dog, and so since the beginning of the year, I've lost 70 pounds. Which means that while I've lost 120 pounds, I've only lost 100 from the beginning because of the fluctuation and gaining some back after 2023. I'm going to put a link down below to the Whole30 and just what I've been doing. And if you're looking for either a recharge or you're looking for something long-term sustainable, I'd say the Whole30 is long-term sustainable. And it's vegetable forward, which I find really nice. You know, it's like 75% of your plate should be veggies and like 25% should be other stuff. And I love veggies, so that kind of wasn't hard for me. The only thing that was really hard for me was carbs. I love bread, I love chips, I love pretzels, I love carbs. And secondarily, cheese. Giving up cheese is really hard. That's kind of our thing. Like, it's not a cheat day, it's a cheat meal. So you pick one meal that you cheat on, and then you go right back to what you're doing. And that's helped a ton, because you get that feeling of, oh, that tasted really good. I forgot how much I liked that. I really enjoyed the way that tasted. And then you get on the scale the next day and you go, yeah, I knew that was going to be higher, so it's not a shock. And now I'm not mad at myself. I'm not angry at myself. I didn't lose everything. I didn't destroy what I'm doing. I knew it was going to happen. Go back to the diet, right? So because you're never gonna lose weight if you hate who you are. If you're doing anything to punish yourself, then you're doing it from the wrong motivation. If you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're saying, I hate this person, you're not gonna do anything good for that person. You're not gonna help them, you're not gonna care about them, you're not gonna work to make their life better. And that's hard, because sometimes when you look at yourself in the mirror, you could be really angry with yourself. And I get that. There's a lot of times when I've looked at myself in the mirror and been mad about my choices. But I never treat that guy properly, right? You're not going to help somebody that you hate. That's just the truth of it. And it doesn't matter if it's some stranger on the street or if it's yourself. So you can't go off being mad at yourself for making bad choices. You just got to treat it like you would treat another human being that you cared about. And that's the way it's going to work, right? That's where your motivation needs to come from. You can lose weight on any good, healthy diet. You can lose weight on any good, healthy diet. You do not have to do what I'm doing. You do not have to do it the way I'm doing. You need to care about yourself. You need to count your calories, and you need to move your body. And you will lose weight. I promise you. And you will feel better. For me, this worked amazing. It worked amazing. So if you would like to give it a shot, I seriously recommend it. Mrs. Brown and I love it. We are fine with giving up some foods because this just feels good. This just feels good to be able to be comfortable again. And guess what? I still get to eat Italian food. I just don't get to eat it as often. But when I do get Italian food, oh, it is so good. And when I do get dark chocolate, yes, it is so good. And honestly, I like a smoothie now and then. It feels good too. So those of you that have been wondering, that's what I've been up to. I hope this is what you were looking for. If you have any questions that I didn't answer, please ask them down in the comments. I will put a link below to the Whole30 and what it is I'm doing. If you're ever in Santa Rosa and you need a good Italian place and a good place for chocolate, I'll put those links down below too, because they're fantastic.